Belita, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm my thing is this what is that? Lord help me. Reconcile.
Oh, reconcile. Yeah.
Thank you, reconcile. The I'm still stuck. And Christian, she could, she tried because it's 30 minutes is not that long. But it seems like it just will not. It's like at 27 cents. Then it's like, but otherwise I'm fine.
Oh no. So you checked your beginning balance and ending balance and all that's correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go line by line? Um, you went line by line down it and you still
Yes.
haven't been able to find it?
Line by line, I went over every total amount. I have spent so much time on just this, but
Have you stepped away?
I stepped away. I went and
Okay.
ate. I took a nap and I came back and it's still, but
Have you exported it to Excel, the statement and the data that's in QuickBooks? What I do is I will sort both of them or just to smallest and then do it equal. So I'll make sure that they're formatted the same way, and then I'll do equals A1 equals B1 and drag it down and see what doesn't line up or what's off.
Oh, okay. Now, okay, you explain it one more time.
Yeah, no worries. So whatever's in that reconciliation window, what I'll do is I will just export the general ledger for that bank account or credit card. If it's a credit card, you might have to reverse the sign, but either way, I'm going to export and get the data. So get all the amounts or whatnot. And then I'm going to take the CSV file from the bank. I'm going to put them both into Excel, sorted smallest to largest or largest to smallest. It doesn't matter as long as they're both sorted the same way. And then so let's say QBO is in column A and the bank account's in column B. I'm going to do A1 equals, so equals A1 equals B1 and see if it says true. Then I'm going to drag that formula all the way down to see what's off.
Okay.
And there might be a couple of things off. It might not just be one thing. And then I'm just going to go through that and see what's, adjust the formula and see what's wrong.
Okay. Now I have looked at the bank statement. You know how they have how many checks have gone through, how many debits have gone through, and all of that. And it looks like because the number is off in the debits part of it. So
doing that will let you know what's missing.
Okay. Thank you.
And if you want help with that, just let me know.
Okay. I sure will.
Or if you try it during the call at the end, if something's still not working out, let us know.
Okay. And Megan, I think I sent you something for tutoring. Through tutoring.
Yeah, it wouldn't open, so I wasn't sure what it was.
Okay, it's where a lady friend of mine, she's opening up a virtual tutoring business.
Oh, awesome.
And she's very good at it. And it's just, I'm just was trying to put her name out for that.
Gotcha. Yeah, it would, maybe the post was private or just friends only or something, because like when I clicked on it, it wouldn't open. So I was like, I'm not sure what this is.
Oh, okay. Just letting you know that's what it was.
Okay, awesome. Trinity also commented on Facebook, Belita, and said remove date blocks in the reconciliation. There could be something that's reconciled after the statement date. So that might be something else to look into.
Say that one more time.
Remove the date blocks in the reconciliation. There could be something that's reconciled after the the statement date. So when you're looking at your reconciliation, to the left, right before the lines start, there's a thing that says like you filter by the date or whatever. And there's an
Mhm.
option that says remove reconciliation. I think that's exactly how it's worded. It's something along those lines. But when you do that, it'll show other stuff that's there, and then you can always hit like reset or whatever it is, and it'll go back
Okay.
to it.
Okey-dokey.
Debbie, how are you doing this morning?
It's morning, but I'm alive.
That's important. Super important. All right. Anybody have any questions or anything? And if y'all are watching on Facebook, definitely feel free to hop into the Zoom link with us.
I have a question, Megan.
Yes.
Are you guys going to attempt, or I know it's kind of in depth, on restaurants? Will you do a Zoom or whatever on restaurants? A training, that's the word I'm looking for.
We can for sure.
Yeah, we have a list of industries that we're trying to do trainings on, but absolutely.
Oh, okay, thanks.
I think someone mentioned that they sent you a restaurant lead yesterday.
Yes, ma'am. We're excited.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. Is there anything specific you're curious about?
Not at this point, because I don't know enough about it yet. Like, inventory and just there's a few oddities that are different than quote unquote normal bookkeeping. And I don't know enough about what it is that they're doing and how they're doing it to actually formulate a question, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely add that to the list. With restaurants, like you have the POS system, but then you also
Right.
have like petty cash potentially. And I think a lot of people with petty cash think, oh yeah, we'll just, the owner's telling me they don't keep a petty cash record. They have to in order to
Right.
reconcile it. So those
I
are
have a client that uses petty cash, and I told him, you have to send me a receipt for every cent you take out of petty cash. And he's doing pretty good. So
there's that, the tips, and if they have gift cards and things like that. So
right.
Some of those, like I'm wondering, because what we might have to do is, while we could do just a 1 hour webinar, some of those are going to take and we do have, I think, some additional POS systems that are discussed in the e-commerce webinar, where it's like more POS systems that we're talking about. But what we might have to do is we might have to do like a live training, but do it kind of like we did the real estate, where we pre-recorded additional chart of accounts, but there's different things, and then we still got on a live call. So we had the supporting videos, and then we answered questions and kind of walked you through it.
Yeah, we're just learning about this client. So it's like, I don't know if their POS is through their platform or if it's a separate POS. There's still a lot of outstanding questions on how they're doing and what they're doing with it. I guess they do have a problem, an internal problem that they're trying to identify. And that would be probably, I'm going to guess, through the tips and POS. So I don't know. I don't know all the logistics yet to ask a question.
That's fair. So with POS systems, the nice thing is, the nice thing
That's
is
funny.
that that did not come out right. But the nice thing, and I don't cuss, so like it didn't dawn on me. Like I just corrected myself because I was like, "Oh, I said that incorrectly." But until you started laughing, did I realize like how that came out?
Yeah, if I hadn't acknowledged what you said, no one would have even thought of it. So sorry.
So with POS systems, the nice thing is at the end of the day, you can treat them all the same.
Right.
It's just learning the components that you need to watch for.
Right.
In them. Obviously they're different. Obviously there's nuances, but the basic principles are going to be the foundation to learning and being able to run with it. So if you haven't watched our POS stuff, do go look at that. I think you have access to it.
I work with a few POS systems now.
Okay.
And
so it will
while they're
translate.
unique, right.
Okay. And then outside of that, we can kind of pull together the uniqueness with restaurants, because restaurants, so like the funny thing with industries is they are really unique. And this is why we do kind of encourage you to niche if you can, because even when I worked at a CPA firm, there was a CPA who did dealerships exclusively. He audited and did the financials for dealerships because GAAP accounting is unique for each industry. And so then we had a CPA who did like builders, construction, and those type of industries, which varied a lot too, but generally speaking, it was going to be the same. And then we had another one who did manufacturing companies. So companies that were like bakeries, they did one of the bakeries that supplied to Costco, things like that. So things like that. We had another CPA who did restaurants. We had another CPA, a whole department who did nonprofits, right? Because there's so much to learn with each industry. So anytime you are diversifying largely between bigger companies, the more you have to learn to keep up. So absolutely. We can add that to we can bump that up on the list for sure.
Awesome. I do know that, even if they're doing the same identical thing, how they want to see stuff and how it's all different. Right.
And that can be, the more you, if, and I know you're not in a situation where you can choose this, but the more a bookkeeper can kind of pick a niche, the more you have authority to say, but this is the best practice. Ultimately, the goal of financial statements, though, is to make sense to the business owner and management, not for taxes, not for the bookkeeper. It's so that the business owner understands it. And so with that, you can always say, this is best practice for your industry if we want to compare it to other industries, but I can do this as a sub account, or I can make this little change, because the more you can keep chart of accounts consistent, the easier it's going to be to get in, do the work, get out. Because then when you're coding, you're like, oh yeah, for all of our companies, we code Microsoft to dues and subscriptions, just for an example, if you do that. Or we code it to, we create a new account called software subscriptions. And we always, across the board, that's where we put it. Is why you might do something like that. But But yeah, absolutely. And then as you guys start getting into that client, if you guys have specific questions, feel free to shoot them our way.
Okay,
Um,
thank you. Yeah, it's kind of cool because I will be moving down there. Now that Zachary's graduated, we're just waiting for his the income for him to set aside a bit to be able to go out and be an adult.
Sure. That's a fun transition into adulthood of like, I don't know.
And he is an adult, but he's not, you know,
Well, from like college to like being on your
yes,
own and like paying for
yes,
rent and getting a job, like everything's due before you actually have the
yes,
savings, and it's
exactly.
a
So we're
yeah,
we're we're trying to uh, make that a little softer transition by him staying a bit longer, right? Sock it away.
we'll enjoy the time. Yeah. Um, yeah. Um,
Okay,
anyway, that's besides the point. So
thank you for all that, though.
no problem. Happy to continue chatting as you guys go.
Awesome.
Lacey, thanks for joining. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Just in general, we don't have a super specific topic. I do have a topic I think I wanted to bring up, but it's not urgent. So
I do have a question
Oh.
about nonprofits. I have a church who's a nonprofit. Do you have any advice or information that you've maybe worked with nonprofit before?
yeah, so I have audited nonprofits before. What are you looking at specifically? Like what type of questions to ask before you onboard, or?
Well, I already have his books and I've already been categorizing his transactions. And he currently has a simple start, but he's a nonprofit in there. So it shows different sub accounts, but I was told that he probably needs to use the plus for more class tracking. It's a very small nonprofit, so I didn't want any more expenses, but they told me about this TechSoup website.
Yep.
And so I'm not really for sure. I'm new at bookkeeping, and I haven't really dealt with nonprofits before or churches. So I'm just trying to do a lot of research and get as much information as possible. So like childcare, for example, he wrote a check for childcare. So I'm assuming it's for when they have services, because they have like a worship service at a local movie theater. It's a small movie theater. It doesn't get a lot of business. So they've let them come in, I think like on Thursday nights, and do like a service and a worship. And so I'm assuming he's paying childcare for the children so the parents can go to the service. But how would I code that?
So when we say like nonprofits, you can have a simple nonprofit that doesn't need class tracking. But because you mentioned class tracking, do they have grants and like things that they have to like adhere to? I feel like normally churches don't, but they could.
Not as of right now.
So if they don't have like grants and classes that they need to track, they can stay in Simple Start. TechSoup is the cheapest way to be in QuickBooks for a nonprofit. But childcare, do they have an annual budget that they release to their to like their congregants?
They just started this year, so they don't have like an annual budget set aside.
So I don't have a chart of accounts for a church in front of me right now, but you could do like If you have like ministry type expenses, I don't know how you have the chart of accounts set up, but if that's going to be an ongoing, they're going to pay someone to show up every service to do childcare, and they're going to pay for that time. You could put it underneath like childcare or whatnot, and maybe it's under like a parent account that's ministry services, like ministry support. What would I call that?
See, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't like the word, I mean, childcare. I understand that, but I just don't want it to look like maybe it's something personal, because you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you would just
try to code it
you would just
correctly.
name it, like service, like, child support for service. Child support. Guys, I can't talk today. You guys are gonna like meme all of these like quotes that I'm being bad at today, but how you set up the chart of accounts will determine that it's not personal, because it's going to be like child care, service child care. Yeah, I'm gonna roll today. Something like that. That's very basic.
I was thinking like
say,
children watch. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Watching children.
It can be children's ministry underneath
Yes,
children's
yes,
ministry.
okay.
You can do, sorry. So I actually have a youth ministry degree. So you would think I have a better answer, but it's been a while since we literally had a class on like, how do you do your books? Which was fun, but children's ministry, and then you can do supplies for children's ministry, child care expenses. That's how I would do it. I would break it out by the ministry.
So even though it's not, even they don't have like children's class or anything like that, they're just, I guess like you could still say it's children's ministry, because they can, sing songs and like coloring sheets and all that stuff. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a service to the children. My church doesn't even have like children's ministry per se, but they do have like some children aspects. So if they're paying for something for the children, where if they do like if on Halloween they do like a trunk or treat or like a PTL party or something like that, maybe that's like maybe it's underneath the children's ministry, or maybe it goes to like outreach or something, outreach services.
So like the candy can just go to children's ministry, or decorations, like
yeah,
that
depends on what it's for.
Okay.
And as you get to know the client and what they're looking for, you'll be able to separate those out better. And then you can always compare it to other churches. So you can look up 990s, which are the tax return filing for nonprofits. It's not really a tax return. It's an informational return. And you can kind of see their chart of accounts that they would put on there.
So 990s.
Mm-hmm. They're likely going to get more detailed. You can also do a Google search for like church accounting. There's a couple of Facebook groups for church accounting specifically. And then there's I think there's a church accounting physical website. You could even compare other churches, like what they're doing for their chart of accounts. And then the goal is to set it up so that this pastor can use it and it makes sense to him.
And Kristen has churches.
You're right.
Yeah.
So that might be a good one-to-one for Kristen, to just review the chart of accounts and see if she has any suggestions on what to change. And she might be able to help you set it up preemptively for things to come.
Awesome. Thank you.
Speaking of one-to-ones, you guys, I think, know we do. So we have the support group that has 2 one-to-ones a month that you can get on with a coach and share your screen, ask questions, things like that. You can always purchase additional ones. Megan and I are always racking our brains on how to make things better for you. And we're always thinking back through, what did we want when we started our bookkeeping business? Why did we pursue the things that we pursued? You'll hear me say all the time that when I was pursuing some stuff, I realized I didn't have a coworker that I could ask questions to. So with that said, we do now have an option with the bookkeeper blueprint. There's an additional option for it so that you guys can have unlimited one-to-ones. So if you're finding yourself saying, hey, I wish I could just go through this and get everything set up, everything done. I wish I could get my marketing all put together, had better direction on marketing, had better direction on my SOPs, had better direction for my business as a whole, so that it's not like, I had a brother-in-law a couple of weeks ago. We were at dinner, Friday night dinner, and I technically own a couple of businesses. So we have this business that we love. And then I have a bookkeeping business. And then my husband has like a side hobby business at this point. And no, Megan, guys,
Poor
I should
Kyle.
just quit. I should just quit today. I was trying to like designate like the time he spends to it isn't like full-time work, but anyway, and my brother-in-law made a comment about like, yeah, but does the business run you, like, versus us run the business? And I actually think for both of them, we run the business. We get to set our own schedule. I was telling Megan one day this week, I literally had to sit and hold a baby for 3 hours. He took his 3-hour nap on me because he's like teething and just didn't want to be put down. There was no putting him down for that nap. And he woke up several times, but he stayed asleep because he was sitting on my lap. And I kind of had my computer. I was doing some things, but one-handed computer work doesn't get a lot done. But I didn't really have a ton to do. I had little things and I just cranked through them. And so that was kind of nice, but I do get to set my own schedule, which means I got to sit there. I didn't have any calls or things like that. Obviously, if I had a call, that would have changed the way that day went a little bit, but I don't think the business runs us because we put a lot of work into asking questions, getting SOPs together, getting some processes, getting some routine and rhythm to the businesses. So if you feel like the business is running yourself, the unlimited one-to-ones might be a good option. Or if you just find yourself having a lot of questions and you're spending a lot of time in like 10 different Facebook groups to get different answers. The one-to-ones can be used for coaches, me, Megan, Kyle, sales calls, reviews, whatever it is you need. Because so we've had some people ask for that. So I just want to let you guys know that that's available.
Now you say that you can join the one-on-ones. Explain that again for me, that you had to offer. Not, you don't have to go through the whole thing, just.
So right now you can do one-to-ones through the support group. You get 2 one-to-ones a month, and then you can buy additional ones as you need.
Yes.
This allows you just have unlimited one-to-ones. You don't have to keep track of what you're using. You just get on as you need them. So if you're like, every day this week, I'm going to conquer this project. So I'm going to meet with Megan on Monday. I'm going to meet with Sandra on Tuesday. I'm going to meet with Jara on Wednesday. Like, you could totally do that, right? Like, and I'm going to have a marketing call on Thursday with, can I introduce who's a partner? No? Okay.
I don't know.
So we have a marketing expert who really loves our program. We're actually including their program in this. So he's doing a website and marketing within this. He's going to meet with you to see which program makes sense, but that's included as part of that. But as far as the one-to-ones go, this particular aspect comes with unlimited one-to-ones. so that you're not having to pay attention to how much you're using them. We just want you to use them and hit your goals.
Okay, so, and it's in the fee of that is,
Yeah, so we're happy to get on a call with you to make sure it's a good fit. And it is on the website though. You can go check it out, see what's included. But we're diving in. So if you're like, let's set up SOPs, with this particular thing, we are encouraging you to set up Keeper, and we're going to dive in with you and make sure it's
Okay.
all set up so that you have a place for those SOPs to go. And you're organized, because a lot of people get into Keeper and they're like, well, now what? Or they get into another workflow system and they're like, now what? I still have to set it up. This way, it takes some of the work off of you so that you're not waiting months to get it set up. We are going to get in there with you and do it with you.
okay,
So
sounds good. It's just
It's like
that
you're,
when I'm stuck, it's like, where do I go?
So here, if you need something, feel free to message me or Megan. We'll help you get to the right spot. If you want to get on a call with us to kind of reorient, like let us fill you back in on everything, we're happy to do that too. But everything's accessible through www.cb4s.biz. And I think that now flows a lot better, where you have the course, you have the one-to-ones if you need those. It's pretty easy to navigate, I think, now. Let me know if it's not. I'm always happy to make improvements.
Okay, I will.
Megan, did I miss anything?
no, I don't think so. I was just gonna add in that it's pretty much like your business done with you instead of like you're totally on your own. Trying to figure everything out and stuff like that. Because all the coaches have been there, or are there and figuring everything out, and what works best. So they're open to giving their experience and sharing all that with y'all to make it easier for sure.
And what I like about the way that this is set up is it's not just you saying, oh, hey, I need this, so I'm going to go talk to this coach, and then changing your mind 2 months later and you're going to go talk to this coach. It's developing a very clear, this is what we're going to do, and this is who I need to talk to get that done by XYZ.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. And it's I mean, everybody should know, like, starting your business, doing it, it's a process. Like, you have to do
Yeah.
this and then now get that in place and move to the next. So
Yeah. And that's for like a whole year. So it's unlimited one-to-ones for the year. Which is
right.
Is it the
Kinda fun.
calendar year, or is it the from the time
you
you
s-
started?
from the time you start.
Oh,
Yep. Because there are so many programs out there, and we see a lot of people join this program, join that program. And it's not that we just want you to join our program and not these other ones. We don't want you to feel like you have to join 5 to get where you want to be. And then only have one of them work for you. We don't want you to gamble with your money at all. Like, so with this, we're jumping into your business with you, so that you like can't fail, to hit your goals. So
too many programs, it gets hectic and confusing.
There
Yeah.
are, and then you can't focus good on the one that you're on, any one of them specifically, because you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, and all the things. So yeah, we get that, totally get that.
Belita, were you working on the Excel, that reconciliation at all?
I'm trying. I did, like you said, to export, didn't you?
I did.
And
So you can export on, I'm gonna open company real quick.
as I went up to the setting wheel, I call it, and I want to export.
I don't think you have to go as far up as this, or, oh, there should just be like this, oh, no, I clicked on the wrong button. There should be like an arrow and like a square or rectangle piece of paper at the top of the reconciliation page. Are you on the reconciliation or?
Yeah, I'm on that. It says my experts. It says that.
I'm opening the sample company so I can show you real quick. So here, if you go to reconcile,
Mhm.
and so you can do it a couple of different ways. If you're on the reconciliation screen, it might not let you from here. I mean, you could print this out. What I would do is I would go to the bank register
Now I did print it out to double
and
check.
I would select the month that you're reconciling. So you could even do reconciled, not reconciled. Apply. And then at the top, it's this square with an arrow.
Okay, I went into registry and go into the dates.
Yeah, so if you click filter, you can do not reconciled or all, and then the dates. So you just do the filter the dates out.
Okay.
And then you should be able to click apply and then export.
Okay, I went to the export to Excel.
Yep. And then it should in your downloads folder generate like a
Okay.
register for it.
Okay, and you open that up. Okay, and then when it gets into that,
So then I guess this is how I normally export it, but I would do this. Oh, I would do minus column E plus column F. Capture this first one, and then I would drag this all the way down.
that's on the side there. You took it to the side.
Yeah, I did. So I just did a formula of minus column E plus column F.
Okay, so
And then I just double clicked it and let it go down.
okay. In the okay. I have, okay, just drag it down. And copy it.
Yep, you're gonna copy. Do you already have another Excel open for the bank?
The bank, the deposits are they're okay. They come out fine. It was
Okay.
just
So you can just do the payment, so you can copy the payments over. So you're gonna ultimately, you're gonna have all of these payments. So like you can copy them to another sheet. And then you would have, so this is QBO. And then you would paste the bank in column B. And I would sort each column by smallest to largest.
Okay. And hit copy. And move them, put it in a whole different book.
And then once you have A and B together, it's just gonna be A equals B.
At the top.
Yeah, so do you have QBO and the bank in?
I have. Okay, I have that. I just have the okay, let me go back to here. And then go over to the bank. I sure appreciate you all on this one. Oh, shoot.
Okay, I'm gonna let you keep working on that, getting them both in the same
Okay.
Excel sheet,
Yeah.
and then I'll check back in on you.
Okay.
Any other questions about your business or how to utilize one-to-ones the best?
Okay, I have both those columns. So I would just do A equals B.
Yep, so are they both sorted smallest to largest?
I'm sorry.
Are both columns sorted smallest to largest?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then, yeah, A1 equals B1. So if this says 3.86, it'd be A1 equals B1, true. And then at some point you might get a false.
Now, where do I would put my oh, next to it? Oh, to C, just put it at C and then do that.
Yep.
Okay. And then enter.
Yep. It should say true on the first one if those two equal.
Okay. Okay, it doesn't say.
Debbie, I grew up in Excel. We had to learn Excel in high school. And I have been in corporate accounting. I know a lot of Excel formulas. I use Excel for a lot of data entry.
That's almost cheating.
And so this is like elementary for
it's-
Excel formulas.
Okay,
Go
did
ahead.
I not highlight? Maybe I didn't highlight it or something. It's just sitting there. Because what you did, where you got that highlighted on yours, you put in that formula there.
Yeah, right here. I put in this formula.
Oh, I see what I did. I didn't do equal. Okay. That's a
You can
big-
also do, you could always do like, if you didn't want to do equals, you could do B1 minus A1. And then you would see like what the differences were.
do.
Either is fine.
Okay, I'm doing.
Thanks, Lacey, for joining.
I'm sorry, y'all, for doing what I'm doing. Okay. Equal.
Do not apologize, Belita. I'm learning lots. Keep going, girl.
I'm gonna be good at this one day.
This is just what I do when I'm staring at something for too long and I'm like, where's the difference?
Okay, do I pull it down then? And then
Yeah, you can pull it down or you can double click this like box at the bottom, but you can just drag it down. So you're gonna want the black cursor, this black
okay. Says
cross cursor.
this is name.
It says NA.
No, it says name. Like, what's the name? Maybe-
Oh, are both of these, did both of these come over as, so select column A and select this $sign.
the dollar.
Yep. And then you're going to do the same for column B and you're going to select the $sign.
And this one here.
And then we'll do the formula together. So does everything have a $sign now?
It's about to.
If not, that means they're not coming over as numbers. They came
Okay.
over as text for some
Yes.
reason.
Oh, wait a minute.
And you'll have to like click in each one if that's the case to reformat it.
Now, the first one, the first line of the expenses it came over. I might have hit this thing wrong. Knowing me.
So A1 equals B1.
Okay. The first one is a $sign. And then the next one- and it could be because where my and I know how to do this too. It's just okay. Yeah. We did it that way. There. You have to highlight the whole thing. Okay. Now in C, it will be do this. Let's see. At the top. Now the A1, do you just type that in at the equal?
So equals, you can select it or you can type A1. So just, I would literally do equals A1 equal sign B1.
Okay. And then pull it down.
Yep, click enter, and then you can either double click this bottom corner and it will autofill, or you can hover over it and then click and drag down.
Okay. So I can just put it right there on that and click. It said okay. And then just pull it down.
Yep.
And will it fill out or do I have to click again?
So you should be, so if you're going to drag it, you're going to click on it
Mm-hmm.
and to let you drag it, and then you're just going to drag it all the way down to till your numbers end.
Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, where is it? Okay. Okay, now it says all of it says false.
Do your A1 and B1 match? So if you're just looking at them, like, are the first two the same number?
The first two is like where my deposits are. It might not be anything on in A column. They're in B column.
Oh, so we don't want to have deposits.
You want to take the
Unless you're
deposit.
checking deposits. So
Okay.
whatever we have in B, we
Uh-huh.
want to have in A. So if you
Okay.
have deposits in B, we either need to delete them or add them to A to do this. We
Oh,
have to
okay.
have the exact same data in.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
So I just brought over the payments. I didn't bring over the deposits.
Okay. Okay.
But you could
I'll
by
do
doing
that.
that
Um,
formula.
That's what I'm doing now.
And Belita, we do have just 4 minutes left. I do have a
Okay.
call right
Okay.
after we jump off.
Okay.
If this doesn't work out and you want to schedule a one-to-one with me, you can do that through the website too.
Okay. Okay, I will. Okay. Thank you though for what you're doing thus far.
But once you get just the payments there on both, you should be able to just do the same thing.
Okay. So once I get the payments over there and then it should tell me if it's in order or what's not in order, right?
Yeah, so you're gonna sort and filter smallest to largest, and then it's gonna say continue with the current selection.
Mm-hmm.
We just wanted to sort that column. We just wanted to sort this column by A to Z. Continue with the current selection. And then you're going to do that formula. And right now, my A and B
Mm-hmm.
say false
Mm-hmm.
because those don't line up. So I can, but I'm just going to go figure out what, oops, wrong one. What isn't right. So what I do is I can shift cells down. And maybe that's like, we know that that's the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I need to go find, maybe there's two issues. Maybe the first issue isn't all of the issue. And so then you need to keep going.
Okay.
And I just manually kind of line them up.
Okay. Until
Until
it
I find
says
all the issues.
everything says true.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps. And it could be, I have seen statements be wrong. So then when I get the following statement, the beginning balance has now been corrected, and you'll see that the ending and beginning balances are different on the two statements. I've seen that with QuickBooks envelopes,
Oh, okay.
primarily.
Okay, ladies, thank you.
No problem. Hopefully, I've enjoyed seeing you guys do your businesses. So keep asking questions. You're doing great.
No question is a dumb question. Okay, I'll just start asking questions.
Never.
Ask all the questions. It's really, really okay. That's the only way you grow. Because if you don't ask questions, what's going to happen? 4 years, 5 years from now, you're going to have to ask a question that you should have asked now. And it's going to kind of be embarrassing because you're going to be like, oh, that's a beginner question, but I never asked, so I don't know. And it's going to feel harder. So if you have the question, it's not a stupid question.
Okay.
Technically, 5 years from now, if you have the question, it's not a stupid question. It can feel harder to ask because you should know it. Well, if you don't know it, you don't know.
Yep.
So I want you to ask, right?
Okay.
So, okay. I've enjoyed today. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all so much.
Bye, guys.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.